Hey everybody, welcome to the very first episode of the Teal podcast. I'm your co-host, Joey DiGangi.
And I'm Caron Pollard.
So we're really excited. We started this podcast, both Caron and I, we'll share our stories in a little bit, but the whole point is that we're both part of the food allergy community. We're really passionate about trying to connect people to all these different resources out there, trying to introduce some of our own through some of the different work that we're involved with. And so we started this podcast just as kind of a way to help share our stories, share the stories of other people that we're affiliated with, and really just try to introduce one more great resource to the community that you can learn more about other things going on. So just kind of at the start of it, I'm from the United States. I started the company. I've had a life-threatening peanut and tree nut food allergy my entire life. I started the company called Assuretech my junior year in college when I was 20 years old. As a way, because I started to notice some of the problems throughout young adulthood. All of these, it's a big transitional stage, and they were all these things that I was not doing too well. Things like forgetting to bring my auto injector with me. Sometimes feeling a little awkward telling people about my allergy. Small things, big things, and just I started the company because I wanted to create solutions to help people manage some of the problems I was encountering in my daily life. And so I worked on that through the latter half of my college career. And right afterwards, I took a job. It was a full-time position in Taiwan. And so I was working there. It was my first time ever out of the country. I ended up having a life-threatening allergic reaction because I wasn't able to properly translate my condition. I didn't know the first thing about how to communicate in a different language. So after that, I started building a translation app that started to pick up some momentum, and it's turned into the Epicenter app, which is my company's main product. And while working on that, I had the pleasure of meeting my co-host here, Caron, and we started. And that's where Teal came from, trying to take some of the solutions that were going on and bring them over to the UK.
Absolutely. Joey and I met a bit like online dating, didn't we?
Yeah.
Instagram was actually the platform that we first connected, and
Yep.
Joey stood out for me because of all the good work that he's been doing through Assuretech, and the fact that this major life event that he experienced as a result of his allergies, it was actually what spearheaded and was the inception of this amazing technology that's going to make such a difference to so many people's lives. So from my side, I'm from the UK, we're in London, and I'm a food allergy mum. So my little girl is almost 4 years old, and before she was born, I had no clue about food allergies, hadn't even considered or even heard of it, or even met anybody that has to face these challenges in their lives. But it was tough for us, because suddenly we were transported into this whole foreign world, not really getting the right support that we needed right from the outset. So it was a very lonely journey in the beginning, and it took a long time, almost a year for her to get diagnosed, to the extent that she was actually hospitalized, and the doctor that was on call actually recognized the symptoms of food allergies, and that's what started our journey. But what we found as a food allergy family here in the UK, and so many others that I've spoken to are experiencing the same, is that because of the lack of resources and availability and face-to-face support, a lot of us have been on Dr. Google, social media, trying to connect with great resources and just people going through the same experiences. But unfortunately, the internet can be quite misleading and a bit of a dark place if you're not going to the right channels and right platforms for support. And so that's where actually Teal came about, especially after my little girl suffered her first anaphylaxis last year. We were actually in a foreign country as well, and it was my inability at that moment to properly check and translate the ingredients that caused her first anaphylaxis, and she has made severe multiple allergies as well. And that's where that moment was actually there needs to be something better as how we can support people day to day, 364 days of the year, when they don't have the ability to be in touch with a consultant. So fast forward to 2020 and so much has happened, let alone that massive pandemic out there that we're all facing at the moment. And as we speak today, we're in our second lockdown here. But Joey and I met at the beginning of the year, and exactly what he's bringing to the US, it was so in line with what we want to do in the UK. So it was two people with an aligned mission. Within 5 minutes of talking to each other, we knew exactly what the need was, what our capabilities were, and it made sense just to join forces, didn't it?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. We're on the same path, and it just made sense to come together like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we've it's been an exciting year as well. So we have made some amazing partnerships. We've been working very hard behind the scenes as well in terms of the technology and the software we're going to be bringing to the allergy community. With so much support, we're actually really excited because we're only a few weeks away from unveiling all this, aren't we?
Yes, yeah, big moments coming up. Really, really excited. I think that's the perfect preview to what's going to be happening in some of the future episodes of this podcast. You know, behind every single feature in the technology, behind every single partnership that we've created, there's a great story, and that's what we're going to be sharing a lot of. We're going to be talking about what some of those solutions we're designing are, and why they're so important, and where they came from. Some of them from life-threatening experiences, some from just day-to-day frustrations that we've encountered as food allergy people. And outside of that, we're also going to be talking with some of those partners. You know, Caron and I, we can't do it all. We're very much aware of that fact. And so what we've done with the Teal App and what we've been doing here in the United States with the Epicenter app is we're building a platform that's capable of aggregating all of these other incredible people in the food allergy community. You know, it would be a disservice to anyone for us to try to do everything from scratch. So rather, we've aligned ourselves with all of these fantastic people, and we'll be introducing a lot of them to you as we go.
Absolutely. I'm really excited about that.
Yeah.
Can't reveal anything yet. So when we have those guests on board, you'll be able to hear more about their personal stories and what impact they're making in the community, and why that was interesting to me, actually, because so many people that we're working with have been personally impacted by allergies, either as individuals growing up with them or as parents, and that has really burned something in them to actually dedicate their lives to improving the futures and other people's lives within the allergy community. And what's really exciting is that it's not a localized support.
Right.
Through Teal, through our network, through the people we're working with, we're offering that international support and international level of connection as well. Because when Joey and I started talking, we realized our challenges and our pains are so similar that allergies are a global concern. And there's so many commonalities, but what's great is through our network that we're working with is that these people and partners are able to help us serve our allergy community on an international level. So that's going to be huge, absolutely huge, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's so much you can learn from people from everywhere. That's really nice to be able to bring in some of that, because some of the things that work, in where in the UK are different from how things are being done in the US, and we can learn from each other, kind of how allergies are handled. Yeah. And I love the point you made about all the entrepreneurs that we know in the food allergy community. I mean, I would say every single one, without exception at this point, has that personal tie to food allergies. Everything comes from a place of personal connection, dealing with what they've noticed in their life. Yeah. So not only you get to learn about what their company and what they're doing, but also what led to it, and kind of you can find ties to your own life, every conversation you have with them.
Yeah, absolutely, Joey. And the thing is, pandemic or no pandemic, coming through COVID, allergies are here. They're a part of our lives. They're in the increase. You only have to look at the stats. Here in the UK, the hospital admissions pre-COVID has increased really rapidly over the last 20 years. We're looking at a massive cost to the NHS of over £900 million in primary care, £68 million in hospital admissions. And what is even more frightening as well is that the highest group that risk of that are your teenagers and people in the 16 to 25 year age group, because as they get older, suddenly more incidents are taking place outside of the home. Young people are becoming more independent and responsible for looking after their allergies and that. So that's very important for us, is how we're going to be supporting families right from the outset, so that parents feel empowered to look after their children, but not only that, protect them and prepare them for their futures with allergies, because not all children grow out of them. You're living proof as somebody that's grown up into your adulthood, and your experience in Taiwan is one that I think many parents feel very fearful of, that could be their child, isn't it? Yeah. You look at the free-from industry and you just see how much that has exploded, because more and more businesses and enterprises are taking heed and paying attention to the allergy community, which is really exciting. Because
that's a huge first step.
Yes, absolutely. It's all about adding more seats at the table, making it more inclusive, and recognizing the importance of people that suffer with dietary and intolerances and allergies. And that's where, as an organization and a platform, we're not only here to support the individuals who have to face it on a personal level, or care for somebody that does, but very importantly, supporting those businesses that are geared to serving that community. That's a massive driver for us, isn't it, Joey?
Yeah, it all comes back to trying to connect everybody with all the great resources out there, whether it's safety food, effective translations, medical alerts from the FDA or the FSA, anything like that. Always just trying to put as many things in your hands at one time in one place.
Yeah, definitely. And I love the way you've summed it up, Joey, that essentially what we stand for and our mission is giving you that daily support in whatever you face, so that you're either going to prevent a reaction from happening, or in the instance that it does take place, that support is there, that emergency support. So we've got a very rounded 360-degree view of how we as families and individuals would feel, what would we need as tools to support us. And the last thing we want is to be opening 10 different apps.
Right.
Otherwise, that doesn't serve us, does it?
No, that kind of defeats the purpose. It's, then you're all over the place, that what to use when, and it just becomes that thing you have on the side of your phone that you just swipe past.
Yeah.
You want it to be one go-to place. That's a big part of the mission.
Yeah, definitely. So this is the birth of Teal. It's really exciting. For those of you in the UK that aren't as familiar with Teal, the colour, which was the inspiration for our brand as well, is Teal is actually the international colour for food allergies outside of the UK. And the colour itself, the name actually means clarity and communication. So what we want to do through Teal is actually just simplify the management of allergies for you. So it's easy for you, whether you're staying in, going out, once we're able to travel again, you've got all that support with you, access to your favorite and safe products for your family as well. That's incredibly important. And all the resources, the credible information from the organizations that have been working tirelessly to support, whether it's schools or individuals or within the healthcare fraternity. It's all wrapped up within our single hub, which is really exciting.
Yep. So, like Caron said earlier, that's only a couple weeks away now from a full launch. So we'll be sure to update everybody as that goes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us for this first episode. It's really great to be able to kind of share the beginning of the mission with you all, and we're really looking forward to being able to keep sharing more from the community.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for listening.
Hey, thanks again so much, everybody, for listening to this episode of the Teal Podcast. Be sure, if you aren't already, to follow us on social media to learn about whenever new episodes are released. And also make sure to visit teal-app.com, where you'll be able to access the full platform on web from any device. And you'll also have a chance to check out cool Teal merchandise and take advantage of some special offers that we provide through the website. See you next time, everybody.